My photos from 2021 suck. Well, and here is why. What a year it has been. Plenty of photography, plenty of challenges. I'm sure it was a tough year for all of us. But how was my photography over the year? I had the biggest exams of my life. I had to get into uni, but I also had the longest holidays. Well, first of all, I started being consistent on this channel, which is good. Second of all, I think the photography has been pretty good, but I didn't get the perfect image I was after. So let's tuck into my 10 favorite shots. Concept completely nabbed off of Steve Mattis, so I will put link to his channel below to see how the master does it. And I will show you my 10 favorite photos from this year in chronological order. So starting off with January, with a black and white picture of bison in the snow. I really enjoy this picture because it shows off the power of snowfall. It was dumping snow on us. We were photographing those bison, it was about minus 10 degrees, and the snow was just dumping over. I have like 3 centimeters of snow inside my lens hood after this session, but this image turned out pretty great. I was hoping for the bison to raise his head a bit more, but this is what I got. I love that you can see all 4 legs and you can just about see its head right from the rows above the ground while eating some grass from under the snow. But, well, the title of the video is Why Do My Photos Suck? Well, in this one, there are this prominent tree, this big Y-shaped tree. I would prefer for this tree to be on the right side of the frame, because now the composition is a bit too left-centric for me. It's everything what's important in a picture is on the left. So if I could, I would clone the tree and put it on the right side, but well, I can't do that. But I'm really happy with that image, and it's probably one of my favorites of the year, one of 2 favorites. The second image is made from a floating kite, so if you've seen the video, you know what I'm talking about. It's fighting coots. I really enjoyed taking this image because, well, floating kite is just amazing. In March there will be finally a tutorial how I made mine, because I'm rebuilding it, and the video will be up mid-March probably, and this is a video, so stay tuned for that. And in this picture, well, I really enjoyed the pose of the coots, the water droplets. The light was a bit harsh already because, as you've seen in the video, I couldn't find any subject for the first hour, so this is about hour and 15 after sunrise. It was shot with the R5 400-8 and 1.4 teleconverter. At f4, ISO 400 and 1600 of a second. Well, what I don't like about this image is the background. It's a bit too busy. It's a bit, you can see the lines, you can see the X made from the reeds on the right side, which is not perfect. I would prefer it to be a pretty simple background, but I really enjoyed the coot on the left with its leg risen, and the coot on the right just falling over to the water. It's probably my best behavioral shot of the year, and that's what I will try to look more for in the next year, because it's just so unique to capture the behavior, even starting with popular subjects, common subjects such as coots. The second image is a common crane just after sunset. This image was taken 1 week before my Matura exams. I decided, screw studying and let's go shoot some wildlife. It was -2 that morning. I really enjoyed this image. I had 2x converter on my 400 at the time, and he landed way too close. so I had to take off my extender, I had to put the body on again, and then there was another challenge since he was completely 90 degrees to my side, since I was laying for backlit shots this morning. So I put the flippy screen on the R5 out and just extended my arm fully, pressed animal eye autofocus, and it's luckily got the shot. You can see the trees on the left hand side of the image are still in shade, while the trees on the right are hit by the first ray of sun. It's just after sunrise, like 5-10 minutes, and the whitish part at the bottom right is a mist of the river flowing above the river flowing nearby, so this is also a really cool accent to this image. Overall, a pretty okay image. I would call it a proper portrait, but nothing special about this image, don't you think? Like, the light is great, the subject is great, but it misses something. It misses something. The settings for this one was R5, 400:8, and 1/1000 of a second, ISO 500 f2.8. Next image is a white-winged black tern from shooting. This was shot the day after I finished my Matura exams, and I went straight to Biebrza National Park after that to shoot exactly those birds. It's been a really good year for them here in Poland. We had about 2,000 pairs in this one marsh that I was photographing them, and I took some shots frontlit, but then I decided if the sun allows me, I want to try some backlit silhouettes. Well, I found of course, I was lucky enough to get sun, and it was rising just behind the marsh, and I found myself a really dark bush, which created this black background, and if the tern flew just at the right distance, it would get rim-lit, and luckily the animal IAF is just amazing, so it managed to catch the focus. I exposed it -3 stops in camera because I wanted that just this kind of black on black image with just rim light over the bird. You can't really tell it's a white-winged black tern, but I still think it's a cool image. What I would like to improve on is the tail is not perfectly symmetrical, and if it was, it would be the perfect image. But it's just missing this one thing again. This seems to be a thing here, like missing just one thing from a 5-star image. Those are all 4-star. I didn't take any 5-star image this year. So that's my goal for 2022, to get a 5-star image in my Lightroom grading. Well, next couple of images is my trip to Iceland. It completely opened my eyes for photography, that you don't need to do it locally. Of course, local wildlife is great, but some places on Earth are just amazing, and Iceland is one of these kind of places. So this is an image of black-legged kittiwake at Jökulsárlón Glacier Lagoon, which is an amazing place with those icebergs floating on a glacier lake just after they separate themselves from the glacier, and they flow through under the bridge to the ocean. So it's an amazing place for landscape photographers, but for wildlife photographers it's also pretty unique, since small fish concentrate under this bridge, and also the icebergs concentrate there because there is a small river flowing from the glacial lake to the ocean, and therefore there is a lot of Arctic terns, skuas, and black-legged kittiwakes, and the ice colors are just out of this world. I haven't touched blues on this one. This is a an image of a black-legged kittiwake on the iceberg, showing off the structure of the ice, showing off the colors, and it's probably my favorite image of the year, just because this reminds me of this great trip to Iceland, and also I really like the composition, I like the layers, I like that one white line is about 1/3 and the second one is about 2/3 of the frame here, and the black-legged kittiwake is on this triangular looking part of ice, which I think overall makes a great composition. And this is probably my favorite image of the year, but there are some good ones coming. This is a great light. This is Midnight's. Oh wait, black-legged kittiwake is R5 400-8 with 2x extender, f9 to have everything sharp in the frame, 1 3/20th of a second, and ISO 1250. This is an image of a red chunk. It's probably the best light I got all year. This is a midnight sun in Iceland, just after our trip to the volcano. We were driving along this road and spotted this red chunk sitting on it. The sun was just about to drop below the mountains, but I managed to crawl up to it, and it was screaming all the time. And well, the purple parts you can see here, it's actually the mountain in a shadow, and just on the top of the frame there is a mountain ridge and the sun just about to clip it. But well, I didn't have enough lens to show it all off, and to be honest, I was focused on getting the beak fully open here, not on showing off the sun. This is also when I encountered the problem with electronic shutter, and now I know not to shoot electronic shutter while photographing into the sun, because I seem to have a stripe on nearly all my images, because the sun was going down too fast, and the soft ombre changes from purples to yellows couldn't be rendered in time while photographing on an electronic shutter. So for the next, if you're shooting into the sun, try always shooting mechanical shutter, especially when the light changes so fast as it does here. I also really like the rimlet on its head, but again, this image is missing something, like some kind of context. If I had a 300-8, I would be able to include the mountain range, which I believe would put it over at the 5-star rating. Well, and this is 400-8, 1.4 extender. Well, I should have taken it off, and it would be easy. This is also R5, f4 1/1000 of a second, ISO 1000. The next image is a completely different image. It's a wildscape. It's something that I'm starting to gravitate towards, trying to show off more of the environment. And this is shot with a 24-105 RF at 85 millimeters at Latjabjerg Cliffs in Iceland. You can see a video of me photographing those birds, because I made a vlog from that location. And I tried to use wider angle here, just to show off the environment, the amazing Latjabjerg Cliffs. Well, it's shot at f16 to get as much depth of the field as possible and not lose the quality. ISO 800, 1/200 of a second, because I didn't expect it to stretch its wings. But well, this image shows that it's possible to get a sharp image of a bird moving at 1/200 of a second, and if you don't pixel peep, you can't really see the motion blur. So I really enjoy this image, but the whole top right part is missing something. If there was a fulmar flying just like down here at the bottom, it would be a perfect image. If there was just a small bird flying in this empty spot at the top right, it would be great. But it's missing this one thing in the corner. I still like it because I believe this is my first successful wildscape I ever taken. Hopefully more of those coming in the next year. I will give you some time to process what is in this image. You can leave a comment thinking what's here, because, well, you can't see the bird, can you? Well, if you look closely, there is a puffin head in the middle in this sparkle of light. In this bokeh ball, there is a puffin head. And if you start looking towards the center, you can see plenty of puffin heads. So I call this image a puffinception, and I intentionally took it in the worst way that a field guide for photography would tell you. Into the sun, around noon, and out of focus. Well, why did I do that? Because I wanted to achieve this effect. I wanted to capture a bird's head inside of a bokeh ball, and it happens when you have a bird closer than your minimal focus distance of your lens. So you're here, a bird is here, background is really far away, and it's water with the sun blasting through it, and you focus somewhere here. So a bird, a background, and if you focus somewhere between here, you get the bokeh balls, and you get where you might get a bird's head inside of a bokeh ball. So this is a kind of different experiment. It's not perfect because I wanted to get a puffin head in all of the bokeh balls, but it's a start, and looking forward to trying this concept on more birds. Let me know how do you like this image, because I seem to have a 50-50 response. Some people really like it, and other people just like, no, it's not bird photography, it's just some weird thing. So let me know how you like it. And this is 400 with a 1.4 again, R5, f4, ISO 400, and 1/5000th of a second. This is a redneck philorop, which I also made a vlog on. And this is a session when I thought I got a shot of the year, but when I came back home, I realized it's not really that good, but I still really enjoyed the phalarope silhouette with a good, again, from purple to yellow gradient, and, well, a simple, clean image, not really anything to say here. Just a good light, good bird. Again, missing some action, missing some context. But a good image overall. If you want to see this video, click here after you're done watching this video, and you will see the behind the scenes of me taking that, and a pure joy on my face when I thought I got the shot of the year. The last image is a shot on the lens that currently filming me, which is a 35 1.4, and it's shot on an R5. It's a squirrel shot in my local park at f1.4, ISO 1600, and 1/3200th of a second. It's a simple image of a squirrel coming really close to me, but it's a bit too out of focus, not enough context to the background, even at 35mm. But I really enjoy the curious look, the foot up, and the slight tilt to the head. Also, I quite enjoy the autofocus ears. They make quite a nice texture, but it's not it. Again, a concept that throughout all of these 10 images, that's missing one tiny thing to be really good. Don't get me wrong, I really enjoy all those images, but I believe it could have been much better if I stuck with the subject a bit more. Well, I also made a YouTube short about it, so another link here. Those were my 10 favorite images of this year. Let me know in the comments which one did you like the most, and maybe which one you didn't like at all. So for this new year 2022, I would like to wish you all the best light, all the best outings, health, and to have some free time to get out to the field, because you can't get good images without being in a field. So thank you guys for all the support throughout 2021, and hope you have a blessed 2022. See you soon. Bye.